Hey guys, and what's going on? This is Wits here, and welcome to the channel. Now, I am not alone here, and I am joined by one of my good friends and pals. This is Clay. Say hi, buddy.
Yeah, well,
What's going on? Yep, so we are a part of what is called the Royal Multi-Battle League. It's a multi-battle league that was hosted by one of our good friends. His name is Shmon. His link is down in the description below. Feel free to check him out. He streams on Twitch and posts a lot of YouTube videos with randomized free-for-alls, as well as other Draft League videos. But they are hosting this Royal Multi-Battle League, and Clay and I were invited to participate. We are teaming up, and we are the team known as the New York Gigantamaxes. We're both big fans of football, and personally my favorite team is the New York Giants. Makes perfect sense when it comes to the team name. At least on our end. So what this tournament is a 7-ish week season where we're going to be battling every single week against all of the other players in the league. And it's kind of what's known as a kind of fantasy style team. So if you play fantasy sports or have heard of it, you have to draft your team based on the players that are available, and the same player cannot be drafted more than once. So once a player is drafted, they are then on your team, and nobody else can pick them up. So all of the Pokemon in this case are our players, and they are tiered from tiers 1 through 5, 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. And we had to pick a team of 10 Pokemon, 1 from tier 1, 1 from tier 2, 2 Pokemon from tier 3, 1 from tier 4, 1 from tier 5. Those are our guaranteed free picks, and then we had 400 points to spend on our last Mons. Each tier obviously costs a certain number of points depending on how good they are. So tier 1 is the highest, so it's the most expensive at 180, while tier 5, which is classified as the weakest, is based on 40 points. So we did have a strategy going into it, Clay. You want to kind of talk about what we were trying to go for, and we can kind of talk about if we were successful in creating this team.
so we were very, very dead set on doing, what is it, terrain control is the term for it?
Yeah.
And we were wanting to grab, I forget which one off the top of my head, but I know we wanted to get Alakazam, NDD female.
Male, actually.
Male,
Yeah.
sorry. And then we wanted to basically just get a terrain of each user and then just abusers of it.
Yes. So one of the main abilities that you'll kind of see throughout our team is called Unburden, whereas if your Pokemon uses or consumes the item that they are holding, whether it's flung or if it's just used, their speed then doubles. So you're going to see a lot of these kind of instant based items that we're going to try and use throughout the league, as well as just consumable items, so we can try and overpower our opponents when it comes to speed and then just raw attack power. So you're going to see that throughout our team. As you can see on the screen, this is the logo for our Royal Multi-Battle League. However, get ready to meet the squad. And there they are right on the screen. Don't worry about the Rayquaza. He's just there. He's my shiny hunting buddy. Say hi. But yeah, and since we are the New York Gigantamaxes, we decided to do a little bit of a kind of a, I'd call it a cute naming theme. All of our Pokemon are named after positions on the football field.
With some exceptions.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. So our first overall pick from tier 1 is Tapu Fini. That is the wrong button. Let's go into summary. That way you guys can kind of see Tapu Fini in action. Tapu Fini, the water fairy type with the Misty Surge ability. So that's our first terrain. It's a pretty defensive wall. Can run Haze to get rid of the opponent's stat boost as well as our own if we desperately need it. But it's mainly there for that kind of that water and that fairy typing, which is very, very key in draft leagues. Scald to potentially burn the opponents. Defog if they decide to try and set up some kind of hazards, Calm Mind setup, Moonblast, Draining Kiss, anything that Tapu Fini would want to go for that would try and benefit our team. But again, that big thing being the Misty Surge, having Dragon type attacks and preventing status. Our next this is our middle linebacker. So Tapu Fini, being the defensive wall that it is the quarterback of our defense, with the middle linebacker being the most important position. on the defense. Then our next mon, Clay, if you want to go for it.
Can you get this one?
Oh, yeah, I'll grab this one. So this is Thwacky. So Thwacky is our quarterback, the captain of the offense, with that Grassy Surge ability. It has a lot of fake out pressure, U-turn, Grassy Glide for guaranteed in grassy terrain priority move, as well as a couple of other niche things. We don't want to reveal too much because we don't want our opponents to potentially watch the video and find out what we want to do. But the biggest thing is that Grassy Surge, being able to go out there and help out the rest of our team, which you'll see down the road. But again, its biggest thing, fake out, U-turn back out to get our big hitters in, and then Grassy Glide to potentially get a little bit of a priority chip and kill. So like we were saying, he's the quarterback of our offense, and we will move on to our first wide receiver, Driflim. Clay?
Our only wide receiver.
True, our only wide receiver. We changed up that nickname, yeah.
We've made him into a different department. No, now we have Driflim, and Driflim, obviously another mon that gets Unburden, being able to double its speed basically on a whim on any given situation, is very handy in doubles, especially given the implementation of Grassy, the different terrains, as well as the new items that we got because of it, the seeds. And so Driflim can actually just proc Unburden through a terrain and then just go to town with acrobatics and anything that we need offensively, ghost and flying wise, we could do with Driflim.
Mm-hmm. It's also got some niche support moves in Tailwind, which is really big in the doubles format, because something that is really, really key when it comes to VGC or multi-battles is speed control, whether it's through Trick Room, having the slower Pokemon go first, or Tailwind, so that your speed doubles for 4 turns. And that can be crucial, and Driflim, being the speedy wide receiver that he is, can then just help out the team in that way, receive all of the boosts that it could potentially get. Will-O-Wisp to cripple the opponent, Destiny Bond to catch them off guard. It could even baton pass some of our stats, maybe. We'll see if we can actually somehow get that to work out.
Maybe.
But yeah, so with that, we'll move on to our Edge Rusher in Drakazole. Clay, you want to pick up on Draco, or you want me to take it?
You can take Draco. I don't really know that much about the Gen 8s.
All right, no worries. So Drakazole is huge when it comes to its attack power. So as you see, its ability, one of its couple abilities is Hustle. And Hustle, basically, it boosts the attack stat, basically giving it a free Life Orb hit for free. Only downside is it lowers accuracy. So every base 100 accuracy move will then become base 80, so giving us a little bit harder time if we decide if we actually miss those moves. But with that Hustle ability, it's going to put in a ton of work. Another ability that it has is called Sand Rush, which is why Drakazole is our Edge Rusher. Coming in from the outside, being able to go in and attack the other side of the field with all of its power, kind of bull rush the opponents. With that Bolt Beak or the Dragon Claw, even run special, it can be mixed, which won't get affected by Hustle, so we won't have to worry about those accuracy drops. It does have Draco Meteor and Flamethrower. But again, that's basically all Drakazole is there to do, and you'll see with our next mon why that Hustle is so important. And that is Nazca, our mascot, the Sigoleth.
I can't take this from you.
That's perfectly fair. Sigoleth is my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's why my jersey number in-game is 561. It's Sigoleth's Pokedex number. Sigoleth is very niche in that it has 3 amazing abilities. Wonder Skin, so that status moves only are 50% accurate against it. Magic Guard, so that it doesn't take damage from things like Leech Seed or Toxic or a Burn or Sandstorm, Hail, anything like that. But it also doesn't take damage from Life Orb, which could be a really cool item to put on this if we want to make it offensive. But one of its biggest things, and what every opponent already knows based on our team, is Sigoleth gets the move called Gravity. And what that does is it brings everything to the ground, including itself, so it won't be flying anymore. But it raises the accuracy of everything. So you know that Hustle that Drakazole has? Yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore because of Gravity being on the field. So all of its moves will then hit. It also gets Tailwind, Trick Room, and other kinds of niche status moves as well to kind of aid us in kind of making sure this team prospers. So following that up, we have our assistant coach, Passimian.
Our original wide receiver too. But
Yeah.
we realized he had better potential as an assistant coach. So this one, normally in singles, is not necessarily the most. It's a very niche thing, but in doubles, its ability gets a huge step forward. Receiver, this Pokemon copies the ability of an ally that faints. So the potential you could do with that in doubles is actually just endless. For example, the biggest example that we can think of, because it goes with our team, Grassy Surge on Thwacky. If our Thwacky dies next to our Passimian, the Passimian then takes Grassy Surge. But then if Grassy Surge isn't active, it will trigger it again. And then, that's not even getting started on the fact that it has a very, very good utility move pool. With things such as Quick Guard, Electro Web.
Gets coaching as well, which is why it's our assistant coach.
Yeah, we realized he was in the wrong department. It just gets a lot of coverage. Oh,
yeah, assistant, our Passimian's female.
Oh, well, that would have been nice to know.
all good.
Yeah, no, it's just Passimian allows other mons to prosper while also being able to benefit off those mons. Obviously, you don't really want to sack something off, but given the chance, receiver will definitely be able to benefit off of it. It could turn a situation around.
Alrighty, sounds good. Following Passimian, we selected Flapple. Now, Flapple, when we were first making this terrain control team, and like Clay said in the beginning, our biggest snipe of the draft was in DD Male, because we were going to have 3 different terrains, but the main one being this Grassy Surge, because of Flapple. Sigoleth plus Flapple is a really, really cool combo, because Gravity also increases the power of Flapple's move called Grav Apple. Turns it from a base 80 move to a base 120 move. So that's a hustle boosted Gravity Grav Apple in grassy terrain from a Flapple. That's doing a lot of damage.
That's
I think when we were doing the calc earlier, didn't it like Oko a max defense Steelix?
Yes, it was something absurd.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
absolutely crazy how much damage this thing can put in, especially if it gets a Dragon Dance up, or if we have a Tailwind behind us and Flapple can just go ham from its hustle, gravity, and grassy terrain. We'll see if we can actually pull it off against our opponents. But that's its main thing, is that Gravity Grav Apple in this situation. It does get Sucker Punch as well, so if we need to, we can Sucker Punch something. If we need it to be defensive, it can run Iron Defense with Ripen, Recycle, just be a big tank. So there's a lot of different things that this Flapple can do. It's not as bulky as its counterpart Appleton, because it is the offensive of the two, especially with Hustle, but that's why it's our free safety, because it's hustling out there, making sure it's covering and getting all those tackles. So yeah, with that, we swap over to our cornerback, known as Lifeboard. Clay, you want to take Lifeboard?
Yeah. So Lifeboard, I feel like if you're a veteran of Pokemon, you know why it's here, because of Prankster. Being able to use any status moon at +1 priority is a huge deal. But that's not even including the fact that one of its other abilities is Unburden. So Unburden just goes, as I said several times over this video, Unburden just works incredibly well with our team setup. Being able to proc seeds, items, whatever, to get Unburden and be able to get in there as quickly as possible. And it helps that Lifeboard has so much it could do. Encore, like Fake Out, it has the whole kit in terms of needing to be a supporting mon, and it could even do some really good damage. Like its stats may be a little low considering for what it is, but it gets a really good coverage with Play Rough, like Gunk Shot, the whole like.
It's Seed Bomb as well, so we can make use of that grassy terrain.
Yeah, we can even run Iron Tail Gravity if we really wanted to.
True. Yeah, if there's any pesky fairy types, since we are dark types, so we could catch them off guard with that. When we Gunk Shot too, because Gunk Shot's also base 85.
Yeah, so that would definitely
Accuracy, that is.
that also works. That also works really well with what we have. So we picked this up one obviously because the prankster being able to support and or destabilize the opponent's Pokemon off of that is huge in and of itself. But the fact that it gets Unburden was what really made us want to get it.
Yeah, not just that, but also our team, as I'm not sure like if people know like the base stats of everything. So like if I scroll through everything, if I like head back to the beginning with Tapu Fini, base 85 speed, Thwacky base 80 speed, Driflim base 80 speed pre Unburden, Drakazole base 75 speed, Sigoleth would have been our fastest mon at 97, Passimian again base 80, Flapple base 70. Then you come in with Lifeboard with a base 106 speed, so we needed something to crack that base 100 barrier, and we needed some speed on the team to make sure that we can actually get all of our everything off, whether it's from Unburden or whether it's just its natural speed. We're able to, even if we decide to run Lifeboard Unburden and it hasn't had its item proc yet, it's still fast mon.
It's still an insanely fast mon. Yeah.
So like if things like to run Quick Guard or they're dark types that Prankster can't hit, we can just run Unburden, have that natural base speed, and click Thunderwave or click Encore to kind of cripple the opponent. So that was one of the bigger catalysts when it came to Lifeboard as well. It was its base speed. And speaking of base speed, Clay found a hidden gem in Tier 5.
I was just spitting out different ideas, and he was literally like, "Wait, stop right there."
Yeah, Sceptile is right here.
We have a Sceptile.
Not only does it have Unburden, it's a grass type in grassy terrain. That thing is firing off massive leaf storms, because as you saw also before, we had a lot of physical attackers on our team, bar Tapu Fini and Sigoleth, so we needed a special attacker as well. And in comes Sceptile. Can be a mixed attacker, so we can run it physical some weeks if we need to with Swords Dance. It has a great coverage. Main reason for that because in Gen 6, it got a Mega Evolution in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and it gained the Dragon typing. So because of that...
it gained a lot of coverage.
Exactly. Because Dragon types have a lot of coverage. So it has things like Breaking Swipe to lower the opponent's attack stats. Got Dragon Claw and Dragon Pulse, and those are just the Dragon moves. Gained Bulldoze, Crunch, Counter, Drain Punch, Low Kick, Rock Slide, Throat Chop, Thunder Punch. It covers almost the entire move pool spectrum, which is really cool move-wise. And the biggest thing when it comes to it as well is Sceptile also has access to acrobatics like Driflim does, where the power of the move is doubled if the user has no held item. So it comes in, Grassy Seed comes off, gets +1 defense from the Grassy Seed. Now it has a base 110 acrobatics as opposed to base 55, which is just added power. It's insane.
Just adds to it. Yeah.
And so when we were looking at kind of the rest of the draft board, we noticed before we even picked Sceptile and Lifeboard, most of the other teams had used their 400 points already. So we didn't have to get our last big powerhouse on the team until our very last pick. So we were able to pick up some of these niche mons earlier in the draft as opposed to later because we didn't have to waste those points instantly. So I think when we were drafting and we were talking about it, we were able to use those really well, use our free picks, use our points in a way to kind of give us a little bit of an upper edge when it came to saving our big picks for later. And speaking of big picks, our last mon, our outside linebacker Jirachi. Sceptile is the running back, obviously. It's the fastest mon on the team. It's 120 speed, Unburdened.
Speed run.
But yeah, the outside linebacker Jirachi, though, one of the second most important positions on the defense.
Yeah.
Just its steel typing comes in clutch because we have a lot of poison weaknesses. So it's steel typing coming in clutch to take those poison hits. And the main thing, follow me. Jirachi gets access to follow me. Base 100 stats across the entire board with follow me. And what that does for those who don't know, in doubles, if you click follow me, all of your opponent's attacks, if they are not spread moves, will attack that slot.
Not even just attacking, like even if they're like status moves, they'll go direct towards it.
Exactly. And Follow Me has priority, +3 priority, so it will go first almost every single time. Actually, +2 priority, so it will go first ahead of things like Quick Attack or Ice Shard, as well as just normal hits. So, and if we build this thing defensively, or especially defensively, we don't have to build it offensive every time. It can just be a tank, because it also has Wish and Protect.
Base 100 across the board opens up every avenue in terms of a set potential. Offensive, defensive, support. In support offensively, support defensively. Like there's just, when you have that just fluid of a base stat line, you just kind of get a lot more room to work with.
And you know how we were talking about coverage when it came to Sceptile because it got the Dragon type? Jirachi's the Psychic type. I think Jirachi has access to every single type of move. I think except for Poison, where it only gets Toxic.
Yeah, so it's something like that because it even gets like things like Water Pulse and
really it gets Draco Meteor.
Why?
Jirachi gets Draco Meteor because of an event. So we could run a Draco Meteor, we could run Play Rough, we can run Aura Sphere, we can run Ancient Power, Fire Punch, Helping Hand if we need the support from Helping Hand, Life Dew, which is an amazing recovery move. Like,
it's absurd.
It has Follow Me Life. It's basically a better Togekiss.
In every way.
Icy Wind to lower speed, Meteor Mash to get attack boosts, like stored power. But its biggest thing, outside of just Follow Me, is its ability Serene Grace, which doubles the effect of status. Doubles secondary effects of the move that it goes for. So if we want to just flinch something to death, we can. Jirachi has Iron Head, Zen Headbutt. I don't think, unless like in the same set, I don't think you can run Heart Stamp, but it does get Heart Stamp in an event. So you
it does have one of those.
Oh, Heart Stamp actually isn't in this gen. That's one of the moves that got deleted.
Oh,
so never mind on that. But Iron Head now has a 60% chance to flinch. Tri Attack has a 60% chance to get some kind of status. 20% on each, which is insane. Charge Beam is a guaranteed stat boost. Like,
it's just so dumb.
Like, if we want, for some godforsaken reason, we want to run Snore. Snore has now a 60% chance to flinch if we're faster.
Let's go.
So if we somehow predict our opponents to run a sleep-inducing move and hit Jirachi after we Follow Me, we can click Snore. That's if we just want to meme around. Like, there's so many things Jirachi can do.
Jirachi says, I don't need to be awake to flinch you.
I mean, it is the sleeping Pokemon, basically.
It is the sleeping Pokemon.
It wakes up after 100 or 1,000 years and looks at all the wish tags that are on its head, so...
It literally wakes up as, like, they're trying to put it back to sleep. It's like, no.
Yeah, and that's why he's the outside linebacker. He's literally a jack of all trades. He can cover, he can rush, he can pick up for the make up all the plays. Like, it's just so versatile.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it adds so much.
Yeah, we were so happy when we saw it was still there, and we were the only ones who can get a tier 1. It was like it was either that or get another special, like a hard-hitting special attacker, like a Blacephalon. But like the Follow Me support is just so good. So expect to see a lot of Jirachi throughout the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Just a little.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us here. This is the New York Gigantamaxes, Tapu Fini, Thwacky, Driflim, Drakazole, Sigoleth, Passimian, Flapple, Lifeboard, Sceptile, and Jirachi. I hope you guys enjoyed, and keep an eye out on the team. We'll be posting videos every week. This is probably going to go up on Wednesday. We'll have a full team builder done before our match, and all of the matches will be posted on Sundays. So keep an eye out Saturday for the team builders. The matches on Sundays. Clay, is there anything you want to say?
Nope. I just hope that we could be entertaining in our matches.
Yeah, sounds good. Wish us luck, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you all have a great and wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.